Hello everyone, welcome to Green Gander 75. My name is Buddy. Today we will begin to reassemble the 14.5 inch South Bend Lathe, starting with the lower cone pulley and the assembly. Pressing the parts seen here proved to be quite a challenge. The entire assembly had to be suspended in my small hydraulic press from my shop crane. My focus here was to get this back together without getting hurt or breaking something. The reassembly of the components proceeded as follows. The entire assembly was suspended in the press like this. The shaft was pressed in first, followed by one bearing, and then the next by flipping the assembly over. With the shaft and bearings now pressed on, I can proceed with installing the retaining rings. The shaft will need deburring and polishing before driving on a large pulley. The large pulley is a very tight fit and will require all the clearance that I can get. The assembly is now very heavily and too awkward to handle to use the press, so I'm going to have to drive the pulley on with a mallet. Not the ideal way to do this, but it will have to work. Fortunately, the shaft is long enough that it is resting on a workbench when sitting up like this. This allows for the impact from the mallet blows to be transferred into the workbench and not into the bearings. The taper pin doesn't fit, so a little further to go. Finally, some success. To help position the assembly in the base, I'm going to use a sling attached to a come-along that is attached to the rafters in my shop. I'm using a small bottle jack to help give a little more lift so that everything lines up. The bottle jack isn't working very well. Might be a good future project to take it apart and find out why. Time to install the motor. The belts were very tight to install, even with the motor adjustment all the way up. I'm taking the pulley apart to give me a little room to install the belts and to make sure they're aligned. With the belts installed, I will adjust the tension here. The belt tension should allow me to press the belts in about 1 inch. Any more than that and the belts may slip, any less and it could lead to premature bearing failure and a loss of efficiency. Join me next time as we continue to reassemble the 14.5-inch South Bend lathe. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, and leave me a comment. Have a good evening.